Hey, beautiful soul. Welcome in for your weekly reading for May 23rd through May 30th, 2025. I'm Joy Giovanni, Joyful Medium. I help people get clear messages and guidance from loved ones that have already crossed over or from their own soul about their own life. We have an extra card this week that came out just for some humorous clarification, which I love. There are some of the same cards that we have been seeing, which is interesting because I feel like there's this build in the energy. So let me know what you think when you see this. This first card is this extra clarification card. This is the everything is fine card. If you've been with me a little while, you've heard me say before that this card is in the deck just for the reader. It's not technically a card that I would use like in a client reading, but it's for the reader as a little bit of a humorous card representing the 10 of Swords, but with the message everything is fine. So just know that while this little time period in our world feels a little turbulent, a little up and down, a little not knowing what to expect, which can kind of feel scary, stepping out in a new way, in a new path, which can feel scary, but Spirit is wanting you to hold this as your mantra. Everything is going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. Everything's going to be fine. So another little nod to this, I just want to say I have been having so many people reach out that are fearful and panicked, and any sign that they see, they're taking it with like a bad connotation or a warning or a bad omen. I just want to invite you to work on that inner world, because if we're looking through a fearful lens, everything is going to seem fearful. And it's not to diminish the crazy things going on in our real world, because that's happening. So don't think I'm saying that, but just evaluating, pausing, tuning into that intuition, asking how you really feel. Okay, now let me get into the rest of the reading. I can go on forever. We saw this Justice card just last week. For some of you, the feeling here is that we're wanting things to come to light. We're wanting things to move forward. And some things are coming to light, just perhaps not to the fullest extent that we wish, or the information that we're receiving is maybe not making it feel easier to make choices and decisions, to move forward. Others of you, this information that's coming to light are things that you've already been suspecting or knowing or kind of finding information about for yourself. And this can be collectively in our own communities, in our own lives, within ourselves. So you might also be finding out information about situations going on with people you care about, your close friends, your family members. Maybe more is coming to light in situations and instances of things they're going through. But again, we're being asked to use all of the wisdom that we have collected so far in our lifetime. If you need a wise mentor or an advisor, not asking for advice for just everyone. Think about like if you were going to have a lawsuit, you would want to consult a high quality, high integrity attorney, not just every single person for legal advice, right? It's that sort of feeling. So again, your own intuition is paramount here, but really this week starting to understand all of this information that's coming to light, all of this truth that's being revealed, all of these scales that are being weighed and measured. How do we as individuals and in our own communities choose to use this information? And we're also being reminded that we are on a new part of our journey. So maybe a past version of you and how they would have used this truth or ignored truth coming to light in your own life. Spirit's asking you to take on board the things that you're learning for this next segment, this next chapter of your journey, because we are on a next part of our path here. And we don't have all the information, but we are being asked to continue forward. And for some of you, it'll be forward in a new way, meaning as some of these truths are coming out, it's validating for you the feelings that perhaps you've already been having of like, this project, this relationship, this living situation, whatever it is for you, hasn't been working. And now that I have this extra information, I just am getting validation that it's not working and we need to move forward in a new way. And that can mean lots of things depending on your situation. But in case you didn't realize, this Sun card here, Spirit is doubling down with this next card, the Sun. And this again is a different version of this everything is working out. This is acknowledging how much we're stressing. But the sun is, if you look at this little girl on this horse, happy and galloping and with all these sunflowers, this is a resounding yes. If you've been trying to make a choice about something, I'm really feeling into what your heart truly desires. And is that possible given the scenario, or do we have to move a different direction? She's really moving forward on this horse though. So just know that you do have the support of the spirit world. You do have the sun shining on you, positive potentials going forward. It's just sometimes when we keep trying to make something fit that doesn't fit, it's not going to work out, and we need to step out in a different way and maybe move what we're doing, either move the location, move the scenario, move the participants, move the energy that we're bringing, move the topic, right? So it doesn't mean you have to throw the entire thing out. It just means if you're going to continue forward, it needs to be with a new purpose in a new way, for example. And again, this sun card really goes along with this justice card, because think of the sun shining a light on things that were once hidden, really bringing things to our awareness. And what do we want to do with it? Spirit's asking you to see if you can find the positive outlook. It doesn't mean spiritually bypassing and acting like things are good when they're not, but it means being grateful for what we do have and figuring out which pieces are wonderful to take forward with us and focusing on that. Now, these final couple cards, this Nine of Pentacles, we've also seen recently. This is about taking stock, really being intentional with what we want to create. We've created a lot so far. Some of it we might be liking, some of it we might be not. Remember, we've been talking about moving things forward in a different way. Maybe you're realizing, oh, with global warming, the way that the sun has changed and the water has changed, this one crop that I'm growing is not ideal anymore. I need a different version of it, right? So it could be, I know that's a weird example, but hopefully you can apply it. She's not totally dissatisfied here. She does have that little spirit birdie on her head, but she is kind of looking around saying like, oh, is this what I want to be harvesting? Is this what I want to be pouring my time and attention into, given all the things that I've learned and everything I know right now? And realizing with this next card that there's still more going on behind the scenes that we're not aware of. So while lots of truth is coming to light in this phase, lots of things are coming to our awareness. Things are being weighed and measured and found to be true or false. Spirit is wanting us to know, as a little extra heads up, hey, everything's not out in the open yet. There are still things going on behind the scenes. There are still things you don't know. So taking all of what we have learned and making wise, educated, and intuitive decisions, but realizing, oh, there's still more than meets the eye. Some people are still hiding certain things, right? If you look at these people with masks on here, some people are not being fully revealing all of the truth. So we have pieces of truth. But as part of this card, I always like to remember a couple things. Moon represents intuition. So you do have your intuition as a strength here this week and in this scenario that's rolling out. And also, there are always things working behind the scenes in your behalf as well. Remember, you have guides, you have a spirit team, you have loved ones on the other side. And while they can't control your free will or control our world, they're supporting you and working on your behalf behind the scenes. So an example of that would be those synchronicities that happen, right? We meet the perfect person at the perfect time and we end up talking about something that's really valid to both of us in an unusual way, or by meeting at a coffee shop accidentally, so to speak, right? So you do have more going on behind the scenes than meets the eye, and be paying extra attention to your intuition, even if you don't do anything about it, even if you don't act on it, making a written note, a mental note, whatever you need to do so that you remember, because as your intuition's stirring about things, there will be more things bubbling up to the light over these next weeks and months. And there's some of it that you're probably getting inklings or nudges or intuitions about right now and dismissing them. And you won't be able to connect the dots if you don't make a note. So really, my high encouragement is to make a note of things that you're getting intuition about. You don't have to act on them. You don't have to share it with other people, but keep a little journal or in the note section of your phone or wherever. So as things continue to be revealed, to come to light, as things are still going on behind the scenes, you can say like, oh my gosh, I did note that. I did have an intuition about this thing or about something moving in the upper management at my work, for example. So lots going on behind the scenes, lots being revealed, exciting new chapter for all of us, and really positive energy around it, even though it has a bit of a rough start over these last few weeks. So let me know how this resonates with you. Closing out the month of May. I hope that you had a wonderful spring. Big hugs, lots of love. Bye for now.